Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down 3 words we use all the time, often without really thinking about what they truly mean: data, information, and knowledge.
We tend to use these terms pretty interchangeably. We talk about data breaches, information overload, and knowledge sharing, sometimes all in the same breath. But they actually represent 3 very different levels of understanding. And getting that distinction right, well, it matters more than you might think.
Okay, so let's dive right into this. This isn't just about being a word nerd. Not at all. The source material for this explainer makes it super clear that understanding this difference is absolutely crucial for how we create, find, and make sense of things in our digital lives. We're going to start at the very foundation: data. If you think about this whole process like cooking a meal, data is all the raw, uncooked ingredients you have just sitting on your counter. The flour, the eggs, the sugar, just there. So data is really just a collection of symbols, letters, or numbers. It's what we get from observing the world around us. Your fitness watch, for example, generates tons of it. Your heart rate, the distance you ran, the number of steps you took. It's just a stream of values. I mean, think about it. A simple column of numbers in a spreadsheet. That could be literally anything. Daily temperatures in Alaska, sales figures for a new product, maybe even the winning lottery ticket numbers. Without any context, it's just noise. It has no meaning whatsoever. And this is exactly why just having data isn't enough. We have to do something with it, process it, give it relevance, give it a purpose. As the author of our source material points out, data is only the beginning of the story we need to tell. It's just the first step on a much longer journey. Okay, let's move to the next level and see how this all builds up. If data is the raw ingredients, then information is the recipe. It's what tells you what to do with them, giving them purpose and structure. Information is what happens when we start answering those basic questions about the data. Who? What? When? Where? And all of a sudden, that meaningless column of numbers from our spreadsheet becomes July sales figures for the Eastern region. Now that's something we can actually use. That's something we can make a decision with. But unlike raw data, information comes with some baggage. It has all these attributes we now have to evaluate. Is it complex? Can we trust its credibility and accuracy? Is it even relevant to us? Suddenly, we're facing a whole new set of challenges. And out of all of these attributes, one really stands out as the most significant hurdle, especially for the technology that powers our world. And that's ambiguity. That quality of being open to more than one interpretation. This quote, it just gets to the absolute core of the problem for things like search engines. Their entire job is to retrieve information for us. But ambiguity makes it incredibly difficult for a machine to know what we really mean when we type something into that search box. You search for Java. Are you talking about coffee? Or are you talking about the programming language? So we have data. Those are the raw facts. And we have information, which is data plus context. But there's one final crucial step in this chain, and it's the one that involves you, the human being. You see, knowledge isn't something you can just upload to a server or store in a database. It's what happens inside your brain when you consume information, understand it, and connect it to everything else you already know. So if data is the ingredients and information is the recipe, knowledge is that satisfying meal you just enjoyed and the memory of how good it was. The philosopher Karl Popper really captured just how profound this concept is. He actually saw it as a miracle. But he also gave us a really useful framework for thinking about where this knowledge actually lives. So Popper proposed these 3 worlds. World 1 is the physical reality we all share. Chairs, trees, gravity. World 2 is your private, internal world. Your thoughts, your feelings, your memories, your unique understanding of things. And then there's World 3. That's the world of intellectual products. It's the sum of all human creation, like books, scientific theories, music, and all the content on the internet. So the crucial point here is understanding how these 3 worlds interact. And it's not just some abstract philosophical idea. It brings us right to the ultimate takeaway for anyone who creates anything in the digital age. Whenever we write an article, or make a video, or design a website, we are operating in Popper's World 3.
We are creating these artifacts, what our source author calls content, that exist objectively in the world for other people to find and consume. And here's the challenge. The entire purpose of creating that World 3 content is for it to be consumed by a person living in World 2, a person with their own unique feelings, their own context, their own urgent questions and needs. This forces us to ask a very, very important question, one that's posed directly in the source material. Are we just pumping out structured data and calling it information? Or are we truly considering the person on the other end of that screen? And that really is the ultimate goal. The journey from data to information, that's a technical one. But the leap from information to knowledge, that's a human one. So the next time you create something, don't just think about presenting information. Think about how you can frame it, shape it, and deliver it in a way that helps another person turn it into their own personal, valuable knowledge. That's how you make a real connection.